The Root of Nightmares raid armor is a big step in the right direction for Bungie. This armor is amazing and it feels like this armor would be right at home in Destiny 1. Back when raid armor looked like we took it from the raid boss or made it out of the raid boss's dead body. You know what I mean? Now in today's review, I want to talk about and show you a couple of things. One, I want to tell you what I like about the armor and what I dislike about it. There are some things that are great and some things that are not so great. And two, I want to show you what's possible with the raid armor by showing you some awesome fashion from my talented Discord server. Stick around because some of those looks are fantastic, better than what I would have done honestly. Or you can use the skip links below the video in case you just want to skip over to whatever class that you main. Because I know some of you are going to want to skip over to the Warlock bond. I know what you're doing. Hands above your desk. Hit that like button. Kicking things off with the Warlocks this time because these robes are an absolute masterpiece. All of the people at Bungie that helped conceive these robes, just give yourself a big whopping pat on the back because this is next level and this is what I like to see out of raid armor. Having multiple limbs on the robes is such a cool concept. I love it so much, and I like how Bungie went above and beyond and made them move a little bit depending on what your Warlock does, like throw a grenade or emote. Oh, and fun fact, with the Disciples Judgment emote, it actually makes the middle arm go down to your waist and it makes you do like a cool pose with the robes. It's a fun little unique interaction. I thought I'd bring it up. To prove even further that these robes are absolutely god tier, here is Kairos' fashion. He is just embodying the void. He saw Nezrak's sin and was like, this is my personality now. We also have this Warlock from Oryx, and this guy is an absolute demon. I love how sinister this looks. And I love how he's still embodying that void theme. I'm also a really big fan of the helmet. It's almost like Nezarec and Rolk collab to make this thing. It looks awesome. This helmet is so Rolk-like, in fact, that some people have even started to try to cosplay as him using it, which is genius. We also have Lord Eyepatch using this helmet to make a very high fashion like look, and I just love everything about it. This dude looks like he spends some money. We also have this one from Psycho Kozak giving me some strong Phantom of the Opera vibes. He definitely doesn't look trustworthy, but you don't need to when you look this good. I also really like the legs from the set. They're pretty unique and they have a lot of interesting shapes and little jewels in them. Honestly, Warlock legs tend to be pretty boring and any change is a good change. These will be useful moving forward for making maybe night builds or if you're trying to do some creepy creature looking Warlock. As for the arms and the bond, they're certainly not bad looking armor pieces. I just think they're not going to be as useful for maybe mixing and matching with other sets. Personally, I don't really like the bulkiness of the gauntlets, but I do know that there are some Warlocks out there that definitely do enjoy the bulk. And as far as the bond goes, well, it sort of looks like, you know what? That's not my place. Ask your parents. I'm kidding, I really do like the bond, but you just need to find the right armor pieces for it. For example, this is a Warlock from Brump, and he decided to match it with the necrotic grips, giving it that green glow, which looks very good. Overall, I think it's a great set, and I'm gonna love whenever I manage to make it drop for me whenever I do the raid this weekend on my Warlock. My two favorite pieces being the helmet and the robes, of course. Guys, let me know what you think about the Warlock set in the comments down below, but now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Titan, starting off with the Mark. I actually really like this thing. I love all the little colors coming down from it. I love the design and how pointy it is. I won't lie to you though, it's not going to be the easiest thing to work with, but who cares because it looks really cool, and if you can find some armor pieces to use it with, you're gonna look great. Moving on to the arms, I'm enjoying how fish-like they are. Instead of giving us these giant pauldrons, they gave us these giant fins, and I'm completely into it. As long as you have the right armor pieces to pair with this, you're gonna have a good time with it. For example, some of the Taken King raid armor or some of the Dragonfly Regalia armor. And that's exactly what Just the Mouse is showcasing here, with the added bonus of using the Abeyant Leap legs, which are new on the Titan. These things pair perfectly with the arms. As for the helmet, I think it looks really goofy. It almost looks like you have a giant nose on your forehead somehow. The only cool part about this helmet, in my opinion, is going to be the big feather that starts off at the front of the head and goes all the way to the back. I just wish that that feather was maybe attached to something a lot cooler. Now, the chest plate is very deceiving. It looks a little odd at first, but once you start combining it with different armor pieces and throwing on some shaders, ooh, the things that you can do. Actually, let me show you the things that you can do with it, starting with this Titan from Chaos. I fell in love with this Titan as soon as I saw it. I tried to steal it for myself, but it doesn't look as good on the male Titans. This definitely has some like Hive God vibes to it, doesn't it? Next up, we have this absolute beast of a Titan from Axelero. This guy looks like he was ripped straight out of the throne world. I love the colors on it, and I love the night aesthetic. We also have this Titan from I Am Ace, really showing off what I was talking about earlier, that it pairs very nicely with the Dragonfly Regalia set. So if you don't know where to start with this armor, go ahead and give that set a try. Closing things off with the legs, I love how these look like they're in motion. I love how pointy they are, and I love the aggressive styling. I know as soon as I get these to drop, I'm definitely going to try to make something with them. Let me know what you think about this set in the comments down below. Personally, I really like it, and as we see more people starting to do this raid and more people getting this armor to drop, I know we're gonna see some good things from it. Okay, so now let's talk about the Hunter set, and right off the bat, I'm gonna let you know that you're either going to really like the set or you're going to really dislike the set. Not the best, but it's still fun to work with. Starting off with the bad. So the chest piece, I'm not a big fan of. It's very barrel chested, very bulky. Definitely not something I like for hunters. Now the legs, they're kind of all right. I can see people liking them, but I don't personally like them. They remind me a lot of the steeplechase legs. They have that general shape, which I don't really like. It's a little too bulky on the sides. As for the arms, I think these look a little bit better on the female hunters versus the male hunters. They're not as bulky, but they're still pretty good. At least they're symmetrical. I love the spikes on the shoulders, and you can definitely work with these. For example, we have this hunter from Fixed Tony, and he's really showing off the supervillain qualities of this armor set. This armor is just meant for you to have black shaders on it. Very evil, very sinister, but still very good looking. Now we have the helmet, so bear with me here. I thought that the helmet was ugly too. Well, I mean, it is kind of ugly, but it has a lot of potential. But that's one of my favorite things about Destiny fashion, where I see this giant orange brain, 6 eyes, big ears, and a big honking nose. You see potential. For example, we have Cobalt Canadian from Reddit turning his hunter into the Chinese stealth suit from Fallout. Not only is it really creative of them, but it just also looks good on its own, even if you didn't know what it was. Not convinced yet? Well, how about this hunter from Tsundere? Like, look at this thing. All right, everybody just pack it up. Let's go home. That's the winner for the day. The way that they matched the little buckles on the cloak with the pointiness of the helmet, and then the cherry on top is the fact that they're using Gerfalcon. Just perfection. And now we arrive at the cloak. Let me tell you, there are a ton of really fun things I've been seeing people make with this, from like Mothman to like a really dark emo looking guardian. All I can say about it is it's just fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. You're essentially a giant moth. Really play into it here. It also looks really cool with the photo finish shader, also known as the RGB shader. It just gives it this burst of yellow from time to time. Looks nice. Now we have our last guardian for the day. This is from Fat Buddy, and like I said earlier, you're a moth, play into that. You'll also notice that they used the Dragonfly Regalia mask. Again, the Dragonfly Regalia is going to be the best pairing for all three of these sets. And for all of my Star Eater Scales mains out there, this is the perfect set for that because both the ornament and the base version look really good with it. Guardians, that's going to be the end of the video. You heard my opinions. Now let me know yours in the comments down below. If you ever want to show off your own fashion, go ahead and click on the link down below to join my Discord server. I look through those fashion channels every single day. Go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button on your way out. A big thank you goes out to my Patreon members. As always, I couldn't make some of these videos without you guys. Go ahead and click on any of the videos popping up in your end card now. And as always, stay beautiful.